All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardin Ellis. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, because Andrew Yang sure did. He picked up some really super cool endorsements over the weekend. If any of you guys are Walking Dead fans, you might recognize a couple of these guys. Cody, tell us what's happening.
All right. Yeah, of course. So the big news, I don't say big news, but one of the news of today, the Andrew Yang campaign themselves actually released this in a statement. But Walking Dead actor Steven Yeun endorsed Andrew Yang. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of this. It's not a whole lot of story here, but there's a couple other things I want to bring up for kind of some context. So anyway, this is from a statement that was released by the campaign. So after meeting and speaking with Andrew several times, I didn't see a traditional politician. I saw a real human being who is authentic and genuinely cares deeply about everyday people and our country, UN said in a statement shared by the campaign. I think he is rising to the challenge of a new world, and he's uniquely thinking about the future and the life we will leave for our children and further generations, he continued. And they go on more and more to talk a little bit about his background, and then from Andrew Yang, a statement from Andrew Yang saying that his story is a true testament to the American dream, this being Steven Yeun, that immigrant from around the world can come to this country and pursue. Yes,
all right.
So, the reason I wanted to bring that up is because one thing that's going to be going on Andrew Yang for a little while is the idea of he's definitely becoming a more and more culturally relevant, a bigger cultural figure, I would say. And I think a good way to kind of point to that is the amount of kind of celebrities and actors and actresses and kind of cultural figures that have endorsed him recently, right? Okay. So, well, this is obviously a pretty good one. The other day, much more publicized, happened about a week ago, actor Donald Glover, actor and rapper musician Donald Glover, not only endorsed Andrew Yang, but was announced a little bit later to be the creative consultant, I believe, for the Yang campaign.
I know.
So we have another very interesting, like I said, kind of influential, and I would say, no offense to Steven Yeun, he's more of an actor, but I would say Donald Glover kind of more along the lines of like cultural, because like he's an actor, he's a rapper.
Well, I found out,
so he's more, you know what I mean?
I found out Donald Glover is the reason why Baby Yoda was held secret in The Mandalorian. Apparently, Donald Glover did some serious lobbying to the production and said, look, people like surprises. You need to keep one of these characters a surprise. Keep Baby Yoda a surprise. And besides, merchandise leaks all this crap anyway.
Maybe
so apparently
he was
he was the brains behind Baby Yoda being a surprise.
He better be on the back end of that then
to the public. I don't know.
He apparently there was back end on that if he did that.
Maybe because Baby Yoda was a big explosion. Hopefully, maybe Andrew Yang's hoping to capitalize on something. And now I also think with Steven Yeun, me and my wife were big time aficionados of The Walking Dead, which is obviously what he's most famous for. I would venture to guess. He had roles, I think, in The Big Bang Theory and a couple of other shows, but we obviously know him from The Walking Dead. He got a gruesome ending at the behest of Negan.
Also, though, I would just say, like, narratively, he also had one of the more elaborate, what's I'm looking for?
Character arcs?
No, but like his exit from the show was held with a lot of reverence. It was a big deal. It was a big.
Yeah,
he wasn't just unceremoniously removed from the show. So we gotta give him that, right?
So he wasn't just the new ensign on Star Trek, the new generation that whenever a new guy shows up in a blue uniform, he's gonna get iced. But also what's interesting is I was just thinking this: Stevie Yeun's cool, and Walking Dead fan base is super enthusiastic. Good thing to tap into because a lot of them are probably apolitical. Actually, very conservative fan base.
By the way, includes Andrew and Evelyn Yang. They mentioned on this article they're big fans, so they were excited to get the endorsements.
Yeah. I'm wondering when they're going to get Daryl, because if they get Daryl, then
Norman
it's over.
Reedus?
Norman Reedus.
Is he? I don't really.
You got to realize when there was a leak out there that one of the main characters was going to die in the next season, I literally saw shirts on Hollywood Boulevard that says, if Daryl dies, we riot. You know what I'm saying?
You know where that comes from, I think? Never mind. I don't want to go too far into it. There's a famous wrestling sign that was similar to that.
Oh, really? Yeah. So wouldn't surprise me if it was birthed in wrestling, because as Cody knows, all good things are birthed in wrestling.
Everything is wrestling. But one thing, sorry, I want to move ahead a little bit, because I want to show you this as well. Now, again, like I
was done, actually. So
I think one of the interesting things that kind of stuck out to me about this recent couple celebrity endorsements is, like I said, it definitely seems to be the kind of atmosphere of Andrew Yang. He's not only becoming more well-known, he seems to be rising as far as profile across the board. So this stuck out to me as very interesting. Now, I believe the data we'd already shown you guys, but check this out. Newsweek now writing in headlines saying, Andrew Yang overtakes Pete Buttigieg to become the fourth most favored primary candidate, according to a poll. It is it's according to the Morning Consult polling, but they found as a result of the post-debate boost, Yang now has a net favorability score of 34%, putting him in fourth place and a point ahead of Pete Buttigieg on 33%. And they mentioned that prior to the debate, Morning Consult polling between December 9th and 15th found Buttigieg 3 points ahead of Yang on favorability. So basically, Andrew Yang went up at a very good bump during as far as net favorability.
Well, no, he had the highest in terms of net favorability.
As far as gain, yeah. Again, part of this comes from just him being less low profile. But what's more fascinating to me than that data point is that Newsweek's writing headlines about it. Dude, you can, from every single poll, I could give you 9 headlines you can write about it.
So we trust Newsweek headlines now?
I'm not saying we trust them. What I'm saying is Andrew Yang is now good business for media to write about. In this one instance, my point being is there is a just kind of cultural rising of Andrew Yang, where he's becoming more and more of a cultural figure. We're seeing, I'm going to show you guys in 1 second.
Yeah, he's reached that phase of you cannot ignore him.
But his ideas are winning people over as well, and that's a very dangerous combination for people who don't like him. Because, like I said, they could write this article. The article could be the inverse. Pete Buttigieg slips to 5th place. They could have omitted Yang almost entirely from the article. But what I'm saying is you're noticing a larger focus around. Recently, another story came up. I'm sorry I don't have it. There was some drama around the DNC and an ad that didn't feature Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes.
But
Pay to play.
Andrew Yang and Michael Bennett were a couple of the voices brought up about this. But again, you're seeing Andrew Yang just culturally rising. I don't think it's any coincidence that we're also seeing, actor Stephen Yuen and then also Donald Glover just a few days ago coming out in support of Andrew Yang. So I think, though, he's kind of, there was a little while there where he was like the best kept secret of the primary, but like that's over. Everyone knows that Yang is the cool, interesting candidate. Actually, you know what? I wasn't going to bring this up for this video, but I think now is actually a really great time to be. Well, hold on.
Do it.
This is very interesting. So a individual on Reddit. Now, by the way, this is on Reddit. No confirmation of this, of course. However, claiming to be not only a current Warren staffer, but also a former Obama staffer.
Ooh.
They mention, I'm into politics. I follow this stuff. I'm obviously into Elizabeth Warren, but I'm following other candidates. Listen to this. As for myself, I like Andrew Yang, and I still know very little about him. I've seen him in bits and pieces on Patriot Act and in debates, but my Yang knowledge is relatively low. Also, I like my job and really do believe in Senator Warren. But I will say, ideas only mean so much without the people behind them to amplify them. So I'm just here to say 2 things. 1, I've been hearing a lot about this interview with Joe Rogan. I plan to listen to it. I'm open to any other suggestions. And 2, don't get overly discouraged or encouraged by polls. When I started working for Obama in 2007, he still ranked 3rd or worse in most early primary caucus states for the primary. You truly have something special here. It's not just a campaign. It's a movement, as you say. It's not left. It's not right. It's forward. Plant the seeds and watch it grow. They also mention here, they say, that being said, her working for Warren, I worked for the Obama campaign from the beginning, starting as a volunteer in 2007, and this current campaign lacks the same enthusiasm, speaking about the Warren campaign. Back a decade ago, every day at work, every conversation with constituents, I knew I was part of some generational movement that was larger than any single one of us. I follow and subscribe. Nowhere is this excitement and intensity present except in the Yang campaign. You guys are passionate or proud, and it really makes me miss the old days. This is a Reddit post, somebody claiming to be a former Obama.
He wants to make the Democrat Party great again.
Yeah, he or she, right? But what's really interesting about
this... So
he's
a MATA.
Well, no. I don't think you understand what's going on here. This is a volunteer for Obama.
Yes, I understand what's going on, Cody.
Well, sorry, I had no idea what you were trying to get. That's the only problem. I'm like, if that's what you're saying, I don't know where you're coming from. But I just wanted to bring that up to the side. No verification this person's real. I have no reason to believe they're lying, but I also have they didn't post a picture of themselves working for Elizabeth
That seems
Warren.
like a very strange bit of disinformation to drop.
Why would you lie about it?
Yeah, why would you lie about that?
I just have to mention at the same time, though, I have not independently confirmed this is real. I found nothing to say it's real. But I do want to say that, as I've been bringing up, anecdotally, that does seem to be what's happening. It does feel like people are looking around for what is that movement? What is that cool thing to be a part of in this primary? And people are realizing it's Andrew Yang. I mean, one last thing I want to show you here is this is what I went just on Wikipedia, but I can say more or less is a pretty good list. Here is a list of celebrity endorsements. Move my camera a little bit so you guys can see it better. Of Andrew Yang in this 2020 cycle. So we're going to run through these. Now, Carden. Any of these names, which one of these names jumps out as your favorite? A lot of big names here. Like I said, I personally like Dominique Wilkins, NBA Hall of Famer. Pretty cool, but you look down this list.
That would be my dad's pick. My dad would be right there with you on Dominique Wilkins.
Who do you got then? Who's your favorite?
In fact, if I make it through this campaign and I don't get him an autograph, I think he might be angry at me. No, I'm just kidding. There's a couple of things that pop out. First off, I'll say of the whole list, I like to see it growing because I like people putting their money where their mouth is, regardless of what your ideas are. I like people just exposing themselves for who they are and what they are. You know what I'm saying? So bravo to all these people that haven't pulled the whole, I work for Disney. I can't say what my political views are. Like left, right, or center. I hate that attitude and those people because they're all frauds.
What? Sure.
Yeah, they're all frauds.
People who don't want to speak publicly about politics are frauds?
I'll tell you, I really think the amount of people that can't because of employment or something situational is far smaller than those that use that excuse just because they're afraid. I think if everybody spoke more openly, we would get a lot further faster. You know, I'm with Thomas Jefferson. Out of the clamor of many voices, will the truth be established?
Okay, but I don't know. I
literally think
because I definitely feel the complete opposite of that. I totally understand.
Well, it's because so many people stay silent that only the psychos are loudmouthed about it. Yeah. So you're afraid if somebody's talking politics, you're talking with a psycho instead of a normal person. Yeah, flip it on me.
What right have you to know what I think about politics? I'll vote, and that's when you'll know. Like, what right have you to know what I think?
Well, I just think at this point,
what right have you?
It's not. I don't feel entitled to it. I was just saying.
You're calling me a coward for not speaking publicly, so I'm a coward because you have no real entitlement to hear my. I'm just saying, man. That's the
no. If you're complaining, you're complaining,
it's the inverse opinion, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's. I think there should be a rule that either if you don't work for it, you can't complain about it. So if you're going to complain about politics, you got to be open about it. We went down a total rabbit hole here. All I'm saying is that I like it when people come out and their vocal endorsements of the people that they like.
You came out and hammered a massive group of people and said anyone who doesn't speak publicly because of their job's a coward. So I just want to make sure.
Actually, I think you should be taking photos of your ballot on November 5th and posting it on social media.
You didn't really vote if you didn't do that.
Yeah, that's really where I think this is. This all should go.
Quickly, any of these names,
what jumped out to me? My favorites would be this. I have a soft spot for the National Treasure franchise.
Who does?
So so I like the Nicolas Cage thing.
It's a great one.
He is at this point prolific and ubiquitous. So I think that's good. And Elon Musk, like that's cool. And to me, the most credibility given to Yang is when one of the great visionaries of your time endorses your worldview and your plan, because we've already seen Elon Musk was visionary with PayPal. PayPal is credited with birthing internet commerce. Before then, people weren't confident. I remember it. They were not confident enough to put their credit card online. That all changed with PayPal. That was the secure link. That's why everybody started and eBay exploded in the whole 9 yards. Okay. So he's already proven that his visions pay off. And then Tesla, that was visionary. He made the electric car cool instead of geeky. So once again, a vision is paid off. He's had all kinds of visions that have now become day-to-day realities. And when that type of man endorses you as a fellow visionary, then to me, that gives the biggest clout to UBI. The biggest functional clout and the biggest functional of all those endorsements, I believe, is Elon Musk.
I agree. I mean, that's probably a good point. As far as like visionary, like great thinkers go, I don't know, maybe great thinker. As far as somebody who's business-wise a visionary, I agree with you. Elon Musk is pretty interesting there. I had a picture up for a second so you could see my personal favorite really quickly. Last thing I want to touch on.
Oh, well, nobody can compete with this.
My personal favorite.
Drum roll.
Is Y2J himself, Chris Jericho.
You're on the list.
Current AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho. He recently supported Andrew Yang. Actually, I am waiting. Chris Jericho has said that he has a very popular podcast. He has said open invitation to Andrew Yang. Andrew, you got to go on Talk as Jericho. You got to let the wrestling world know what you think. Hey, wrestling world, WWE Universe, got a lot of fans in it. Talk about demos. That's a big one because, actually, Chris Jericho currently works for a different company. Point being, a lot of people like wrestling. It could be very big and popular. I just think it's really cool. That was just, again, the thing that I've noticed and kind of what I was trying to put together here a little bit today was the idea of it's not just the fact that celebrities are endorsing. Because I can show you all the celebrities who've literally maxed out to Pete Buttigieg. There's like 20 of them, right? But what I'm saying is the public kind of like...
Isn't that all you're allowed to do? Like you're not in the club unless you do the max donation?
No, I mean... I would say if I'm worth like tens of millions and I'm like, I'd give you $100, it's a little bit insulting, you know what I mean? But my larger point is, it's less the fact that these people are endorsing Andrew Yang that really stands out to me. It's the seeming rising kind of cultural movement that the Andrew Yang movement is. I mean, like we said, I showed up a second ago. It's not confirmed, but we have someone here claiming to be Elizabeth Warren staffer, basically saying, like, I've been part of campaigns that did have this kind of cool feeling, this cool movement, specifically Obama, and today I'm only seeing that in the Andrew Yang campaign.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're seeing people like actors and actresses coming out to endorse Andrew Yang. Because
and this is the intangibles.
They feel it too. They're feeling it's a cultural thing.
This is whenever I reference the intangibles, and we talked a lot about this. When we're a bigger show, we have to have somebody that can transcribe all of our shows so we can go back and pull sound bites of things that you and I have prophesied.
I think software can do that right now.
Okay. Yeah. We got to figure that out because I know 2 or 3 times you and I have asked each other, what do you think about this data point? What do you think about this amount of money he raised? What do you think about these poll numbers? He's neck and neck with this other person, or else, that money is, very synonymous to this other person, this historical time that had the same amount of money. What do you think? And so many times I've said, it comes down to the intangibles. At this point, it's not the number of staffers, but how enthusiastic they are on those doors, how just you feel when you're talking with them that they really believe in this and they're not just going door to door for Elizabeth Warren. That's when you can no longer use measurable quantifiers to predict success, and it goes down into the tangibles. It doesn't matter how many Jedi, but how, attuned to the Force they are, so on and so forth. And so I wish we could pull out some of those sound bites because those tangibles are force multipliers.
Oh, big time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're huge force
intangibles, all right.
Yeah, those intangibles, are huge force multipliers of the tangibles. And I would say that one really convincing door knocker can do 5 times what an unconvinced door knocker can, receiving the same $20 an hour.
It's almost kind of like, I think what you're saying, it's like, it almost doesn't matter when you're talking with someone who supports something. The pitch they make is kind of how they make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can hear the pitch of someone who's kind of like, hey, look, Andrew Yang, he's great. But if someone comes and you just feel the passion in them, I think that's what we're seeing. People are feeling that passion and like, he's got people going. Like, what is this?
I have literally voted for people. I have literally voted for people because of impassioned cries from their supporters, where literally all I've done is looked up and, as long as they weren't like a psycho, you know what I'm saying? Or they were like part of a party that I really had like big time problems with knowing what they were about to do in a certain situation. If there's 7 people on there for county judge, you know what I'm saying? And somebody knocks on my door and says, "Hi, I'm here for Ruth McGovern for judge. I know her personally. She was great on the school board. You got to vote for her, dude." I'm voting for Ruth McGovern.
Well, it's
as long as she's not like some Green Party person, no borders. I'm voting for Ruth McGovern.
But it's kind of like almost like kind of like the heart of marketing, right? Where it's like I can watch a million commercials saying that the new super sandwich at Burger King is good. I never go to Burger King. If one of my friends is like, it actually is really good. Suddenly, it's like millions of dollars of advertising, nothing. One person I know going like, I actually like this. Better than I thought. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I think we're at that stage. Everyone's kind of seeing this, looking around, and they're like, they see ads for other politicians, and people just like legitimately they know go, no, yeah. And I saw a lot of people talking on Twitter how like they had parents that thought this Andrew Yang guy, who the heck is he? 9 months ago, you meet again for Christmas, and they're all of a sudden coming around. I kind of like this Andrew Yang guy.
Yeah.
It's just it is, and I think
you talked about him at Thanksgiving, honey.
A way I kind of want to put the last little bow on it. I think seeing the story today of Stephen Yuen coming out today endorsing, I think it's kind of what you're talking about. This is when the tangibles become tangible. Like the way you kind of see what the intangibles are is by who is following a leader.
And here's
people
another
are following them. I think it's really cool.
Last thing I'll say too is once again, we're getting a Yang story out of the Hill that's getting over 3,000 shares.
Well, the Hill's
we talked about
cool,
that 2 videos ago where you were just comparing the share numbers on the articles written about these different people, and the articles about Pete Buttigieg and about Bloomberg and about everything else aren't getting the shares, while all of the articles about Yang are getting the shares. Yeah. People are going to start noticing this, and
editors will start noticing this.
Yeah, editors are going to start noticing
this. People share the Yang content.
People share the Yang content. So we got to write more Yang content because we get more clicks, and next thing you know, that is what's cool. And you have no idea. This is the last thing I'll say because we've already veered verbose here and gone over. But you need to look up cool hunting. Cool hunting and marketing. There's firms that literally just pay young people to go out in search of what the next big trend is and what is cool. And they're called cool hunters.
Huh.
And literally. Like, looks like the funnest job ever. Keeps you completely juvenile. You know what I'm saying?
That's like a little stressful, right? What happens if you tab the next big thing and it's just like, nah,
a dud.
You're wrong.
well, let me tell you, of all the things that companies pay for, they will pay out the nose for a company that has a good track record of cool hunting. So editors and media folks, once they start figuring out that Andrew Yang is cool, that's when you're going to really start noticing an explosion. Actually, I think to a certain extent, we've already noticed a miniature explosion, and that's why the polling data shows Andrew Yang rising even past Pete Buttigieg in some of these situations. So anyway, let us know what you guys think. Please comment below. If you can, share this video. Give us a like. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PSP Radio 1. Call us at 1-833-PSP-RADIO and leave us a voicemail so we can answer on our videos and also in our chats. And make sure you hang out with us on the live stream. This is Problem Solver Politics. We'll see you guys in the next video.